Good day and welcome to Mosport for the round of Canada, obviously the Canadian race of the season. We are going to start in Q3. This is Kenny Myatt as your pole sitter with Alex Allen in second, Grayson Ace Vito in third with DJ Curtis in fourth. As you can see, we're going to continuously go down the order a little bit here. Big news item is Action Terra's not here because Rodolfo Omega was their only last remaining lifeline, and he got injured after his incident at Texas. You're going to see coming up here, you're going to see James Shelley on the grid here in 17th position. Shelley is starting in the 84 car. Becca Moss was also hurt in the incident, however, she was going to be fired anyway. Madeline Myatt and Jake Baskinger both made it into Q2 but crashed in Q2 and both required going into backup cars, so they're going to the rear of the field. And the final news item is that, like I said, Action Terra is not on the grid, and Menervini predictably has fallen back down to a one-car operation with Malachi Cohen driving it at this stage because we're still unsure if Marian Shawrot's coming back or not. Also, there was an incident in Q1 between Eric Monaco and Truck Tauger. Both of them will be starting from the rear. I don't believe either of them set a hot lap. So, that being said, Mosport is one very difficult racing circuit. It is a high-speed road course located in Canada with only really one or two tight corners on the entire track. It's a very flowing road course that requires a lot of people to start racing with some aggression. It's very narrow, and it's, like I said, it's fast-flowing and narrow. So it's going to take a lot for drivers to come to grips with this Mosport Canadian Tire Motorsports Park facility. With that being said, let's go down to the race here at Mosport. Kenny Myatt leads the field of 36 down to the green, and away we go. There's Alex Allen on the outside. We've seen in the past on this track, it's been a while since we've been here, that the outside can sometimes get a good run off the corner. However, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case today. Everybody rockets around this field. No incidents yet. That's good. As we kind of go through here, ooh, Pad Car getting a little close to the grass. And as they're, looks like Pad Car kicked up a bit of dirt there coming off the corner. But so far, so good here around this Mosport facility. Kind of surprised by that because Mosport always tended to be one of those tracks that took out a lot of cars early on back in the day. It's been a long time since we've been here, and this track is incredibly difficult for some of the drivers to deal with as they go into one of only two really tight corners on the track, as we're going to see what happens here. The outside line really can get held up there as they rocket around the facility there. You might have saw that silver car of James Shelley there. As they rocket down the straightaway here, it's the closest thing you get to Death Valley or Road Atlanta through here. A lot of people call this Canadian Road Atlanta. However, Kenny Myatt continues to lead this race, and actually Myatt's opened up a pretty nice lead so far over Allen, Ace Vito, and a couple other cars. We're going to go through the field here, make sure everybody gets through this section of corners. Okay, I think we do have an incident there. That's Halleck off. Halleck and Aiden Shepard are off, and that's going to be two cars out of the race. On lap number one, that's Halleck and Shepard done. Yeah, this one started with Jack Halleck getting into Aiden Shepard coming off the corner there. That is one of the toughest corner complexes on the entire ARCSOA schedule there. And both drivers, I'm pretty sure Shepard's going to fall out, and yep, Halleck's probably going to as well. Biggest gainer so far in this race has been Kyle Bichelli. He started back in 6th position. Well, not biggest gainer, but he's up to 4th position. And I've got to also give credit to Ryan Griffin starting P12. He's up to P8 now. Both GLMs got into Q3. That's an impressive showing for both of them here. But, this is a scary, scary situation here with these two cars. You don't want to be doing this too often through this section of corners here. It's a very complex one, but there's Tristan Wilhoit on the outside in the GCI car. And as they rocket down the front stretch again, start lap 3. It's a very quick lap time for a road course around here, only a minute 16. And as you can see, it's just a very competitive road course, as well as Ace Vito's holding up Bishelia. But Kenny Myatt right now is on a tear in the lead. Noah Hart also went from 15th to 11th on his first couple of laps here. And behind him, there is the aforementioned James Shelley car. I believe MasterCard was very upset with Becca Moss's performance and pulled out of Silver Speed, and therefore Red Bull jumped on, or well, James Shelley's main sponsor is Red Bull, and has jumped over to ARCSOA with him, and it's great to see the British driver back. He was really quick in practice, didn't qualify that great, but was one of the fastest cars in practice here, as you see as the field rockets their way through this corner complex. Again, it's a tight S-bend complex. Noah Hart's trying to make a move on Gurry in there, and Hart is going to get that position, I believe, right there. Madeline Myatt's been massively held up here by Chase Dunbar. Trek Tauger, third, one of the top three in points now, is kind of taking off into the distance. Even though Noah Hart is in 10th position, there isn't a lot of cars in front of him that are really championship contenders right now. Sean Angel kind of is. Pad car is as well. But outside of that, there isn't really anybody that's a serious threat yet for the championship. I mean, Myatt's always a threat. I mean, he can chew up race wins when he needs to. And it looks like today could be his day if he doesn't have any bad luck hit him. But as you go through the field, a lot of the people that are main championship contenders didn't qualify that well. Pericles is an example. John Arndt didn't qualify. It wasn't a very good qualifying session for Silver Speed in general. And as you can see down the straight, man, that's a tight pack, and I don't like the fact that they're coming up to this situation there. Man, Zachary Fitzwater started all the way down, and I believe he qualified 33rd. However, he gained 2 positions, so 31st, and he's up to 22nd. So Zachary Fitzwater is a man on a mission today. And in just starting the 5th lap. Oh, crash in the back. That is Eric Monaco. I was going to say that Fitzwater did a great job getting up through the field, and Monaco's done. Let's see what happened here, and Monaco's going to come up to the outside of Caldwell and just kind of throws it off the road by himself. That's all on Monaco himself. It hasn't been a great weekend for Eric Monaco, and I think that just kind of proves it to him right there. Tough break for Monaco. There would be an incident also on lap 5 when Dorn and Bouchard would essentially just bump the 88 out of the way, and the 41 nearly took Bouchard out at the same time frame there. And ooh, that forces a stack up there, and that forces Davidson to go wide, lose a ton of spots there as well. So Zayden Davidson had to run wide there. It's a tough break for Davidson. Noah Hart is one of only a handful of drivers that have ever been on this track, and it's showing right now because Hart's been moving his way through the field. Another driver who has only ever been here is Kenny Myatt. Neither of them, I think, have ever won at Mosport, though. Myatt's coming up to the slow car of Monaco. Blast by him. But it's kind of showing that experience with this track kind of matters, because Myatt is gone in comparison to Alex Allen. And, ooh, that's a very bad spot for them to be coming up to Monaco now, but kind of, he knew somebody was going to have to, and Monaco gets into the pits. He's going to fall out of the race, so a tough break for Eric Monaco there. I feel really bad for him. Trek Tauger is all the way up from starting last on the grid. He's all the way up to 22nd. So he actually is passing John Arndt. So Arndt, like I said, didn't have a very great qualifying run, and Arndt's luck has really been shoddy at best recently, but Tauger has really put on the heat now. He is looking very strong in this race, and he could get points at this stage of the game. Hats off to Cody Lamas. Lamas started 25th. He's up to 17th on the grid right now, and he's doing a fantastic job. Kind of one of the quicker cars on the track right now. Chris Dobbs lost a few spots, as is Bouchard, as I go through the order a little bit here, trying to see who has gained and who has not. Noah Hart has put kind of Gurry and a couple drivers toward the back. Sean Angel started. He lost a spot, actually, there, as Ryan Griffin is a man on a mission, as he's taking Will Hoyt now in the GLM. That's an aggressive move there by Will Hoyt to try and keep his spot. However, I think it's going to work for the time being. However, Griffin has the inside for the next corner. James Shelley and Noah Hart have been really going at it today. Just trying to battle for positions. This is for 10th, obviously. And Shelley is as quick as Hart right now as they enter the front straightaway. Shelley's going to get that lap there and get the position on him. And he's going to solidify it with that move right there, as Hart's going to have to slot back to 11th position. As you kind of go through the order, you're just seeing who is strong here. And look at Kenny Myatt's lead. It is absolutely massive right now. Myatt's just pulling on everybody. It's kind of an old-school Myatt domination fest today so far. Sean Angel and Griffin now are going to do battle down the straightaway, entering the final couple of corners coming up at the end of the straight here. Griffin did get a great run off the slow corner down at the double right-hander. And although he is going to hold a spot over Sean Angel for the time being, there's Will Hoyt and Curtis, two teammates doing battles. Ooh, that's a close battle there. Hart and Shelley are off, and oh, that's Noah Hart, the point leader, finally has bad luck here. And that's not good for Noah Hart. I saw this just out of the corner of my eye here, and you're just going to see this one's on Hart. He dives his nose in there, and Shelley doesn't know he's there, and I put that one kind of on Hart, but it is more of a racing deal. But Noah Hart, the championship leader, is going to fall out of the race. Now, granted, mathematically, I don't think he can lose the point lead, but it's definitely going to take a hit today. Trek Tauger somehow would spin down pit road, get spun into pit road, and losing on pit road, lose a ton of positions on track, though. So for the championship contenders, this, as he took some damage to the inside wall there, it looked like he tried to pit there because there was a bit of a scramble after the Hart-Shelley incident, and, well, Tauger lost a ton of spots on the track now. If I'm John Art now, I'm putting on every bit of racing speed I've got right now here. With Noah Hart out of the race, this could be a big day for Art to try and catch up into the points here. Wow, that's Fitzwater in 17th position, so Fitzwater doing a great job. Lamas is in the points now. Gosh, that's been a while since I've said that. And normally he does well on the ovals, so road courses aren't normally Lamas' specialty, and he's in the points. Kind of a pay driver there with Cody Lamas, if you ask me. Ray Hall's in the points. He started 19th on the grid. And as you go through the order here, man, Ray Hall, I gotta mention that. Ray Hall's up to 11th from 19th, so if he keeps going, that's going to be an impressive showdown for Roman Ray Hall. In 13 laps, so Kenny Myatt's opened up an 8.5-second lead. This has just been, so far, this is a very old-school ARCSOA race. A lot of people have said that coming back to Mosport. This could be a very old-school ARCSOA race. A lot of people thought it'd be a wreck fest, but surprisingly, it really hasn't been too bad. However, in the regards of an old-school ARCSOA race, Kenny Myatt murdering everybody, that kind of shows a lot there. There's Alex Allen, one of the few drivers that I believe has raced on this track, if I'm not mistaken. Grayson Ace Vito in third. He hasn't, obviously. Neither has Michelia or Will Hoyt has, I think. Kristen Will Hoyt's raced here in the past. Maybe E.J. Curtis has. Not sure about Griffin, though. Curtis and Will Hoyt, as I mentioned earlier, they've been dueling each other all race here. And this is for sixth. Will Hoyt took the position last lap away from Curtis, and Curtis is trying to get it back this lap, and it looks like he's going to this time. And, oh, don't wreck each other. Oh, we got to wreck further back, though. Yes, we do. That's Moshe Gurian and Sean Angel as everybody's coming down pit road. We're going to take a look at that in a little bit. And we're going to see what happened to Moshe Gurian and Sean Angel as Myatt's on pit road. Who stayed out? Will Hoyt stayed out. The 51's in. The 11's in. Virtually everybody. Looks like a couple of cars are staying out as well. But let's take a look and see what happened to Gurian and Angel. Yeah, this one, Gurian just came over on Angel, and Angel, you gotta let Angel turn into the corner there, Moshe. I mean, another racing deal, though. I think all of these incidents will be Stewart's inquiry, but I think that one's gotta be on either Angel or Gurian. Or that one's gotta be, I think that one's a racing deal, rather. Tristan Wilhoit would stay out, of course, to lead a lap. Wilhoit is in now. And we're going to see what he's going to do in comparison to a couple other cars. Ray Hall second. Lamas is up to third. Pericles fourth. Brock fifth. Arndt sixth. I can't believe Arndt's behind Cody Lamas, of all people. Arndt has not had a strong car today. As there's Kenny Myatt just, once again, just blasting by all these cars on pit road. There's Will Hoyt. He's just now getting his right side tires checked. So it's just a race where, unless something happens to the 9 car, I don't think anybody's going to catch him. at this rate, as here comes the 25 out of the pits. 25 actually gains a little bit of time on the 35 there and actually pulls a little bit ahead on who was racing. He was racing the 15, and he actually gained a couple spots there. The 25 could be a threat later, because if he's cutting that kind of time out on pit stops, the 25 might be able to catch the 9. Grayson Ace Vito and Alex Allen would actually close into each other a little bit more. And this could be a pretty intense battle here for second position on the race here between Zeos Honda and the BFM. Ooh, Ace Vito might go wide there, and that's going to put things pretty hard, though, for Ace Vito further on to this race. Actually, Kyle Bisceglia is closing in little by little as well. Will Hoyt lost a position to Padcar because Padcar has more tire heat. And Will Hoyt's going to take a little bit of time, I think, before he can try a move necessarily. Big battle here. This is for 17th on the grid here as John Arndt and Benjamin Dover trying to get by Tyler Faber. Faber went a little wide in that corner. It looks like Arndt's going to get it there. However, there's Faber also, or I'm sorry, Dover also on scene. The two team flame cars do a little bit of contact there in the center of the corner. Wily veteran Tyler Faber and the young hopefully future star Benjamin Dover having a great race there. There's Madeline Myatt back there as well. Remember, she started in the back because of an incident with Jake Baskinger. Meanwhile, Baskinger is up to 17th position. I'm sorry, that's for 18th, that move was. And so now, this entire field now has to kind of deal with themselves the rest of this stint here. Tough break for Zachary Fitzwater. He would break down on track, and he was running up at 15. He just had taken 15th, I believe, when this all went down. And he was crushed. Because remember, he started all the way back at 32nd. He was the biggest mover of the race. Thoroughly being an absolute awesome driver. And, well, not going to pay off, I think, today. Tough break for him. Tyler Wallish is blown up now, too. That's another engine on the Wallish brigade. And, yeah, Wallish is just going to park right there, and not a great spot for Wallish, but tough break for Wallish. William Brock and Nick Pericles have now caught the back end of Cody Lamas. Lamas is trying his hardest to hold that spot there. He's doing a good job of it, but it's just that car isn't exactly the strongest thing on the track, so tough break for Lamas. Meanwhile, in his own zip code, Kenny Myatt's opened up a 10-second lead and is pretty much on cruise control. Yeah, unless something silly happens, this is Myatt's race to lose. He's just come out here and essentially put on a clinic around this track so far. And you gotta give him credit for it because we haven't seen this kind of domination in a long time in this series. Interesting battle here as Ryan Griffin now has passed Will Hoyt, Rahal, and Curtis. So Griffin's on his way up the order, and now his next two cars in his sight are actually Padcar and his teammate Kyle Bisceglia. And I believe Griffin actually could be. No, Griffin isn't. Griffin's faster than his teammate, I believe, but definitely not Padcar. And Padcar is all over the back of Bisceglia now as they go through the woods once again here. Come down the straightaway. This is just a very, very challenging track to pass on, with there's hills all over the place, etc. Makes this track a very difficult one for some of these cars to pass on. Padcar's having a lot of trouble getting by Bisceglia, who is slower than him, but Bisceglia has every right to defend that position. Grayson Ace Vito decides to pit a lap early here and maybe short pit in order to try and get up the order maybe a bit here. DJ Curtis is doing the same strategy here. I think he's right now trying to race Alex Allen, because like I said, the 9 is miles in front of everybody, but that could be a battle for the win if bad luck strikes Myatt again, which we've seen all year. Kenny Myatt would pit a lap later. There's Vanderpesch in, by the way. Coming in now is Alex Allen. Third is now Kyle Bisceglia. Remember, he hasn't pitted yet, so you've got a different array of pit strategy now. And also, look how close Ryan Griffin's been closing in. And Griffin's one of those drivers that likes to stay out, along with Will Hoyt and Rahal. Watch Ryan Griffin as this race keeps going, because he could be a serious, serious threat if something were to happen to, let's say, car number 9. Here we go. We're going to be looking on board aboard this is going to be the 11 car. We're going to see where he comes out in relation to the 55. We got a crash in the back, I heard. We're going to take a look at that here in a little bit here. Oh no, it was the 16 maybe trying to get on pit road. And actually Ace Vito lost. No, Ace Vito didn't lose that much time here as he's coming over the hill, but he did come out relatively even to where he was. Vance Caldwell would lose control trying to come into the pits. He went a little too wide and slid into the grass and missed the pit road, actually. So Caldwell gonna have to go around again. Interesting strategy here as Tristan Wilhoit stays out again, actually. So Wilhoit is the official leader of the race now as Griffin and Rahal have come in. But Wilhoit is really pushing his fuel farm on this stint here, and this is, I think, a CJ Racing move to try and get Wilhoit in second position, so if something happens to the 9, or even if Wilhoit really plays his cards right, he can cut into a considerable chunk there off the 9 car, because he's pitting 2 laps later if the pit strategy plays out right. However, I don't think he's going to get the 9 per se, either, because if you look on the track, Myatt's about ready to pass him, and Wilhoit still needs to pit. So, Wilhoit's play for second position is going to take place here, as there's the 9. Also, Jake Baskinger's on the same strategy, trying to get up the order. He's not going to get second, Wilhoit, and he lost too much time on the road, on the track there, as Alex Allen and Ace Vito are coming. Just not going to work out for Wilhoit there. Maybe as the race goes on, second place is more of an option, but, I mean, you've got even Kyle Michelia solidly passing him, and Griff, this is going to be the big test, because he was racing with Rahal, and we're going to see how this plays out. Looks like he's going to get Rahal here. However, so he does gain a position from that so far, but it's not going to play out the way Wilhoit wanted it to. Jake Baskinger actually, though, would leapfrog. I believe he got passed by Pericles beforehand, and he would actually leapfrog Pericles and the 2 car. However, Arndt now is passing the 2 on track as well, so that actually puts Arndt in the points, so he will gain something so far if this race continues the way it is. However, Pericles and Baskinger doing battle as well could be a pretty interesting points game here, especially that they're racing kind of as close as they are. Pericles is notably quicker than Baskinger right now. However, I think Pericles has got to stay behind him right now, because actually the driver that they got to be worried about is John Arndt, because John Arndt's actually turning up the tempo quite a bit. He's setting some of the fastest laps of the race. I mean, forget that the 1 exists in this race, obviously, but John Arndt, back in the position he's running in, is setting some of the fastest laps of the race right now, outside of, let's say, car number 1. So he's, I believe, faster than Pericles and Baskinger. So gotta watch out for car 83, because this could be a interesting battle for him. Well, this has got to be an honestly strange sight for mine. See, it's another car on the track. Like I said, this is, I think, the first car Myatt's actually had to come across since the first lap of the race. So, Myatt's just been running qualifying laps around here. Actually, Arndt's quicker than him, though, right now, than the 9, but Arndt's still a ways behind. And actually, the 9's being held up massively here by Chase Dunbar, and that's going to really hurt the 9. That's going to be a couple seconds out of his lap time. Well, Alex Allen has to deal with Caldwell, so not an easy move for him either. Especially that Caldwell's slowing him up, and the 11's going to be a factor for him. So, Alex Allen is massively being held up by car number 16 here. And Alex Allen, I see, is getting really frustrated with him here as he comes over the hill again. And the 51 car is just got to be patient here and hope that something happens to the 9, because even if he does pass 16, he's not going to get the 9, I don't think, at this rate. Right there, he does get the 16, and I think that was a little shake of the fist at Vance Caldwell. Kenny Myatt now is once again going to take another shot here at Chase Dunbar as he enters the very complex sector. This isn't a good place to catch a lap car, if you ask me. However, Like I said, the 9 is one of the better ones at calmness on track. He's quite fiery outside of the track. Oh! The 9 goes wide there. That was an aggressive block there by Dunbar. However, and I think Myatt's going to be livid at said Chase Dunbar after this race. And the 9, just be careful out there. Kenny, you know how to win these races. You've won second. You're second only to Nick Mason wins here. And I think you'd like to get another win here today and close that gap by one more here. And if you're careful here. And we're going to stay here because Dunbar's being really racy with Myatt, and I don't necessarily think I like the way Dunbar is behaving. Well, we're going to keep our eye on it for a little bit here, and especially if the 9 goes wide, which he did lose a bit of time there to Dunbar. But here we go on the track again as Myatt's got to be getting frustrated by Dunbar, as now the 51's got clear track and actually is closing in on him. In one lap, Myatt lost a second and a half being stuck behind Dunbar, so to Alex Allen, and it's just the same thing over and over again. And if Myatt keeps losing the second and a half to Alex Allen might actually have a play in this race. Alex Allen has chewed another second out of Myatt's lap here as Myatt is really being hounded by the driver of the 22. You're a lap down. Let him go, Chase. You have no one to race with. Malachi Cohen is a mile in front of you. I don't know why the 22's not letting him go. That's my big thing, is the 22 should be letting the 9 through. However, I think Chase Dunbar is just an idiot, if you ask me. And this is going to be another lap where Myatt's going to lose a bunch of time to Alex Allen. Alex Allen chews another second out of Myatt's time. It's down to 7.7 seconds between the two. Ooh, if I'm Kenny Myatt, I think if I'm Myatt, I might actually stay there for a little while because you're faster than everybody else on this track. And so you can gain it again and hope that you get Dunbar on the pit stop cycle. But once again, you're losing a second a lap behind him. And if Dunbar wants to be a moron, then he can be. But, let's see what happens with Dunbar. Because I'm thinking that might actually get a Stewart's inquiry. Because we saw that Benjamin Dover got one at Daytona. So, we'll see how this goes. Alex Allen's taking this opportunity to short pit, actually, as well over the 9. So, the 9... This is a smart move, if you ask me. Short pitting here. I mean, Ace Vito now is in second position and has clear track in front of him, though. But this could be a very intelligent move here by Alex Allen, especially with Kenny Myatt struggling to get by the 22. Now, what Myatt needs to do is pit at a different time or somehow get out in front of him, in front of the 22, and really set some blisteringly fast lap times. Padcar and Curtis decide that they're going to pit today. Ace Vito's also on pit road. Myatt stays out again, though. If he was thinking Dunbar was going to pit, and Dunbar just is not pitting. And Myatt's down to 118s now. And he's just struggling behind this rather silly lapped car. And Chase Dunbar could theoretically cost Myatt his win. And Myatt stays out again. The only problem that I see with Alex Allen's strategy is he's definitely going to need to pit again. Alex Allen is. Myatt might not pit a second time. He might be staying out to do a one more stop, which is a smart move. But now he's in the 1:19s when second place Ryan Griffin's doing 1:17s. Everybody else is way faster than him. We're going to see if Myatt pits this time. He should be able to. Yes, Myatt is coming in, and Dunbar, thankfully for him, isn't coming in. Myatt might still need to pit again. Oh, but Myatt misses the pit road! He's choking this one away, is what he's doing. You saw he was going to pit, and he did not pit. Okay, this is a really weird race for him now. Will Hoyt stays out again. fuel. Remember, Wilhoit's one that likes to stay out as late as he can. I was a little concerned that Myatt wouldn't make it on fuel the rest of the way. Allen, we don't think is. However, now Myatt's got to worry about, pad car versus Dover. That's a pretty interesting setup because they're on different tire strategies. As Dover's got a pit. And here comes Dover down pit road. Myatt pits, but look who also pits in front of him. So Myatt's got to make sure that he can get done with his pit stop before Dunbar. Myatt does get to pit road, though. So this could be, it's going to be interesting because Myatt was doing 120s. What was the, Wilhoit stays out again! So Tristan Wilhoit doing his absolutely immense pit strategy move here. Stays out again. Maddie Myatt trying to get her lap back here. Oh boy, is Dunbar gonna get in front of the 9? Yes, he is! Oh no! That's the last thing the 9 wanted to see, is the 22 beat him out. Oh boy, so 9's gonna have to deal with him the rest of the race. And look how close Ace Vito is to him now! Myatt's ginormous gap has now evaporated to nothing. Oh boy, and Ace Vito's looking for his first win. Where's the 51? The 51's in front of him! Oh boy, the 51's just taking over the provisional lead of the race! It is in front of Dunbar! Now, will the 51 be able to make it on gas, though, is my question. Oh, Myatt is going to be fuming at Dunbar after this race. Tough break for Cody Lamas. He was in the points the whole day and just, I think, has a problem with his car, so tough break for Lamas. It wasn't a problem with his car. This is what happened with him getting on pit road, and it kind of really damaged his car here. He's on pit road, and, well, he didn't pull into his pit box right. He was kind of angled out, and Faber clobbered it. Actually, a little bit of clobber there between the 4 and the 28 as well. And Ace Vito has now caught the 9 for second. And we've got the Great Wall of Dunbar also there as well. And if you're Kenny Myatt, you are angry at Dunbar. And finally the 9 makes the move on Dunbar here. And now he has to come from behind. Now, granted, we don't know if Allen can make it on fuel. If he can make it on fuel, he's just pulled off the luckiest pit strategy of his entire career right there. And now the 9 and the 11 are going to be doing battle for the win, if that's the case. But they've got to catch car 51. Meanwhile, Alex Allen in the lead now has got to start pulling on these two behind him. Well, looks like the 51 is kind of having issues with Malachi Cohen. 51 has had a ton of issues with Cohen today. Or has had a ton of issues. He's kind of like Myatt, though. He hasn't had to deal with a lot of cars today, and Myatt's strategy just imploded in front of him. I mean, Myatt had this race in the bag, and now is good 5 seconds behind Alex Allen. Alex Allen's strategy did not work. He would have to bring it down pit road, and that leaves the battle for the win between car 9 and car 11. So Alex Allen has to get a splash of gas and tires, so his pit strategy didn't work. So we were looking, and Myatt was setting blistering lap times trying to catch him, but no avail there. Now he's just got to start pulling on car number 11. Because of his secondary pit stop. Oh, the 11 had to pit now, too. Okay, now the question is the 9 pitted a lot later than everybody else? Does the 9 have to pit? Okay, so everybody else is making pit stops. It's a GLM 2-3 now, so if GLM can hold their position, it's going to be a double podium for them. Can the 9 make it on fuel? If he can't, the 51 should have the lead. Oh boy, this race has just gone into a full fuel-saving game here now. And Myatt's setting some really quick lap times. I'm wondering if they're thinking that he's going to have to pit, and he's trying to get as much position as he can on the 51. The 51 is, I don't know what kind of lap times he's setting, but we're going to see here in a second. We'll stay with him. If Myatt needs to pit, he's got to hope that Alan's setting some slower times, like a 1:6. I mean, he's setting times that are faster than Alan's fastest lap. Yeah, he's doing 1:16, so Myatt's going 2 seconds faster than Alex Allen is. Curtis and Padcar bring it down pit road, so there's another 2 cars. That's Vanderpesch going off the road there. Myatt is now really setting some quick laps. Ryan Griffin now has gotten by Kyle Bisceglia for second. So it's Ryan Griffin, so it's Myatt, Griffin, Bisceglia is your podium right now. And Myatt's still set 1:15s. Where is the 50? What's the 51 doing? He's still doing 1:16. So Myatt is faster than the 51, but we're unsure if the 9 has to pit or not. If the 9 has to pit, oh boy, that's going to be an interesting battle. If the 9 has to pit, then it could be the 2 GLMs, because the GLMs are in fuel save mode. They're doing 1:17s and 1:18s, and it looks like Bisceglia's going to try and make it to the end. But remember, I think Myatt pitted later than these 2 cars anyway. Also got to give a top of the ARCSOA cap to Roman Rahal in 4th. Rahal has done a fantastic job today. He is on a quick time, though. Both GLMs stay out, and Myatt stayed out. Will Hoyt, he should make it. Will Hoyt should. He's in 5th. Actually, if everybody pits, Will Hoyt should be the car that could win this race right here. I forgot about him. If everybody in front of him pits, which I'm not sure when Rahal pitted, and I know when the 2 GLMs pitted, and Will Hoyt stayed out later than everybody. Will Hoyt could theoretically win this race if Myatt and them have fuel struggles. Coming to the end of this race, we would have a really kind of scary accident here, as all of a sudden we would have cars going everywhere. That's Caldwell, Baskinger, Arndt would get a piece of it. And then coming out the track here, the 6, the 3, and the 82 would get a piece of it as well. So it was a pretty late race incident there. The 3 from 12th position would have a ton of damage there on his car. And the 16 would have a lot of damage as well. So, that's not a good situation there. Oh, Curtis gets a bit of contact and freezes sliding in oil there. Kind of a chaotic end of this race right now. Meanwhile, in the wonderful world of the 9, the 9's now in fuel con mode. He is now doing 1:16s. What is Will Hoyt doing? Will Hoyt's in fuel conservation mode as well. And Rahal's really the only one that isn't. Rahal's actually, oh, well, that's because the 2 GLMs are stuck behind Dunbar. No shock there. And Rahal's actually probably going to get Bisceglia here. Okay, so if GLM wants 2 cars on the podium, Bisceglia's really got to start holding off Roman Rahal here. 2 Ohioans doing battle. Actually, if Griffin somehow got out of that, it would be an all-Ohio podium, which we had been kind of wondering when the first Ohioan would win a race. 2 laps to go, though, for Kenny Myatt here, and remember, he is dialing back his pace. Well, I don't think that lap car should be giving him too much trouble. The one in front of him, she probably won't give him that much trouble, if you ask me, but I think this might be the 9's day, after all. Kyle Bisceglia has been throwing some wild blocks on car number 5. This has been, I think they definitely want to keep that 2 GLMs on the podium alive here, and I think Bisceglia might be able to pull it off here if he can just keep holding off Rahal. This would be GLM's best result, I think, was like mid-points, and now they're 2nd and 1st. Meanwhile, the 9 is now taking the final lap. And now we got a battle here. Well, I think the 17 might as well just stay behind Dunbar here for a little while, because I don't think the 35 is necessarily going to battle you that hard. All eyes, though, are on whether or not the 9 can make it. Can the 9 make it home on his 1 less pit stop? Where's the 51, out of curiosity? The 51's up to 8th position here, and, well, then the 11's in 9th. So their race kind of capitulated before their eyes. We got one more straightaway, and then the three most difficult corners in ARCSOA, or three of the most difficult corners in ARCSOA to end this race here. And Kenny Myatt, despite a couple of scares there, has put on a driving clinic outside of Dunbar, the whole Dunbar situation. Myatt has proven that experience does matter around some tracks. Kenny Myatt comes off the final corner to win the round of Canada, the Buckeye Bullet. It was a question of when he would win this season. In his final year, he wins Mosport. Ryan Griffin slid wide, and somehow Kyle Bisceglia got by him. We're going to have to take a look at that here, but it will be 2 GLMs on the podium. It's just going to be an Ohio 1-2 with Bisceglia getting second over Ryan Griffin. We're going to have to take a look at that. Yeah, I kind of figured it would have something to do with Dunbar. The 17 is being held up by Dunbar, goes wide, gets way out of the way, lets his 35 car go, lets his teammate go by, and then you've got Ryan Griffin. His whole job then is to start holding off the 5 car from getting on the podium, and that's what he does. It is a GLM 2-3 double podium result for GLM. I am ecstatic for them, because they have come from absolutely nowhere to get a 2-3 with their weird custom manufactured car. But yes, congratulations to GLM for pulling that one off. Let's go down to your full finishing results. So the Buckeye Bullet on pit strategy ends up taking the win away from Kyle Bisceglia and Ryan Griffin. Like I said, 2 GLMs on the podium, just in second and third. Roman Rahal fourth, so the 3 Ohioans end up getting the 3 of the first 4 spots, with Ryan Griffin in between that. Will Hoyt comes home 5th, Bouchard 6th, Don 7th, Allen 8th, 9th goes to Ace Vito, 10th to Pericles, 11th to Padcar, 12th to Brock, 13th to Curtis, 14th to Arndt, 15th to Davidson. Dover just misses the points again. Fries, Thaber, Tauger. A lot of cars didn't capitalize on Noah Hart going out early. Arndt did, though. Arndt gained a couple of points on him there. I believe 2 points, rather. Tauger, Madeline Mike's a lap down. Cohen, Dunbar, the Great Wall of Dunbar. Vanderpesch, Lamas, Jones. Jones is going to have an engine. Caldwell's going to have an engine. Wallace is going to have an engine takeaway. Fitzwater's going to have an engine takeaway. Monaco's going to have an engine takeaway. And everybody else is all right. So a lot of engines going away in this one. And it was all really because of crashes. But there was a lot of incidents with engines going because of that. So a lot of engine replacements in this. Luckily, it wasn't Pericles, who has, I think 3 engines left. Let's go down to your points. So your points leaving the round of Canada. Noah Hart and Trek Tauger, nothing changed there. Dorn and Bouchard gains 2 points. Pericles gains a bit. He's tied with Dodd. Angel, John Arndt, and Kenny Myatt now are within reasonable chance of a championship here, considering that we are on round 13. DJ Curtis, Baskinger, Padcar, Jones, Rahal, and I would go all the way down to Shepard for a realistic shot at the championship. Maybe, although with the Indy 250, Kataba and Amaria all awarding total 150 points right there, it's anyone's guess who can win the championship, especially with those 50 points awarded in Amaria. Brock, Fries, Allen could have had so much better this week. Moss, Roush, who's not here anymore in the series. Halleck, still Rookie of the Year contender. Griffin gains a ton, and he needed that. He needed those 20 points. Will Hoyt, Vincent Allen, Davidson, Lamas, Dover. Dover's got to do a little bit better in that Team Flame car if he's going to have any challenge. They're saying Dover and that Team Flame car will eventually start challenging Halleck for for Rookie of the Year. However, that's kind of besides the point. Shallrot, Vanderpesch, Fitzwater, Walsh, and Cohen, Dunbar, Thaber, and all the way down the order. Stan Thaber, and then there's Tyler Thaber still sitting on 0. So Team Flame hasn't scored any points so far in their brief championship haul. The next race will be the round of New Hampshire at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, or New Hampshire International Speedway, however you want to call it. I believe now it's called New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Then after that, you got the Indianapolis 250, the second largest race of the year, and that's a 50-pointer as well. So it's going to become crunch time for the points coming up here, and if Noah Hart continues to have some bad luck, ooh, this could be an interesting championship if you ask me.